Good day, folks. We are witnessing one of the greatest financial calamities of my generation. I wish that was a joke, but this is worse than Bernie Madoff, Enron, Lehman Brothers. The collapse of FTX in the crypto market has become so widespread that it is hitting literally some of the largest financial YouTubers that exist, because obviously they were getting paid tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote these platforms. And today I want to talk about the fallout of one of my favorite channels that I used to follow called Millennial Money, where you had these big financial YouTubers from Graham, Stefan, Meet Kevin, Andre Jikh, financial education. And now they're all dealing with it in their own way, but it's fascinating to see how each one of them are kind of responding to it. And that's what I want to break down from an individual standpoint, what their current comments are, because I'm telling you, it's fascinating. It's just utterly fascinating to see the different approaches here. And a lot of this goes beyond crypto. Some of this is going to have to do with individual stocks and how bad, like, Jeremy's been getting devastated on some of his stock positions. I'm not here to make fun of anybody. I'm just here to look at the drama, the fallout, and just see what's going on. And we're going to kick this off with, first and foremost, probably one of the biggest of the bunch, obviously Graham Stefan here. This guy's been going on a political rampage, deleting all of his FTX videos. He completely wiped the Millennial Money YouTube channel, and he hasn't been really talking about it that much. He made a 2-minute video on it, and people are saying it's not enough. And just read the comments on his last video here. He's like, look at the FTX issues will not go away until Graham does a longer video for transparency. This dude is a legit right back to making the same old videos, like FTX thing never happened. The ball's on this video. Own your stuff, Graham, and stop sweeping FTX and Millennial Money under the carpet. You know this is not going away until you address it. Tom Nash, Tom Nash was a big promoter of FTX, but he was pretty transparent that he got paid $50,000 a month. So I imagine, yeah, Graham, Millennial Money bringing in way more views, and considering Graham was doing it on his own channel. Oh, man. And this is a funny comment here. Trusting Graham is falling faster than the car prices. Like, he cannot post a video right now, without kind of running into this issue. And this shit is the definition of a soap opera. It's, like I said, it's the biggest financial calamity of our generation. There's no doubt about it. And the fallout's going to be massive. And we're going to talk about potential lawsuits that could ensue from this, and what the likelihood of happening, or what's going to happen to these guys with some of the fallout. Because I think Graham's trying to cover his ass right now by deleting these channels, but it's not doing him to any real favor. So who I really want to talk about here is Meet Kevin, because I got to give Meet Kevin a shit ton of credit. This dude has been hitting this like head on. No bullshitting. He actually said that I wish they didn't delete the Millennial Money channel. He tried to buy the Millennial Money channel. He made this whole video here on why the Millennial Money channel is deleted. And he's kind of third-partying it, saying he didn't really have a lot of control over the recent decisions that have been happening. So, the fact that he just said, like, there's no way to know this stuff's happening. Like, we trusted these people. We're not going to delete the videos, or he doesn't want to delete any of his videos, because he's stating that it's fun to look back in the past and see where we made mistakes, trying to take the moral higher ground, which I think, I got to give him credit. Of all the things, I'm not the biggest fan of Meet Kevin, but, at least the guy isn't trying to rush this under the rug and let it pass by and continue doing what he's doing. He's really hit this, with the nail on the head. So I got to give Meet Kevin probably the most credit of the bunch. Now, I really do want to get into Jeremy, but before we do, we should talk about some of the controversies and the contradictive statements coming, I think, from Andre Jikh here. Sorry, let me stand up. I'm sitting on this weird chair. It's making me uncomfortable. Let me get a nice, comfortable view here. It's easier to stand. So take a look at this, because Andre Jikh, and I almost worked with this company called BlockFi. I'm sure many of you know BlockFi, APY, get some dividends off your crypto. And this was part of the promotion. I pulled this out of my email because this is how they were trying to sell me to get me roped in. Fortunately, I live in Canada, never got involved in all this FTX stuff. I am involved in some of the cryptocurrency exchanges here in Canada, but luckily they've been way more resilient. They're way more regulated. They ain't going broke. You're still able to withdraw, no issues, right? But take a look at this, because on this BlockFi promotion, he showed that he had $328,000 in BlockFi. And he's been trying to take this interesting standpoint of, he's been a Warren Buffett focused investor. And on his kind of response to FTX, he says, hey, I've always advocated toward kind of value investing in this stuff, but he hasn't. It's so counterintuitive, because on Millennial Money, he was saying, oh, well, anyone that got really rich only did it by putting most of their money in one asset. And he's been exposed, from my understanding, like 50% of his portfolio in crypto, largely divvied between a lot of these accounts, which we can see here from 1 year ago as BlockFi position being worth $328,000. So he said the same thing Graham said, that it's time to get your money off the exchanges, but it's already too late. These guys can't get away from it at this point. There's no point telling people to run for the doors because the doors are shut. If you're in it, you're screwed, unfortunately. And I hope nobody watching this has been detrimentally destroyed on their financial independence to perhaps one day retire early, because, man, this is really straightening up a lot of the market. So I found Andre Jikh's idea of it rather interesting, as he backpedals by using the idea of, hey, value investing, guys. I always have the dividend portfolio. Don't forget the dividends, so I found that relatively intriguing. But financial education, I noticed he hasn't been talking about it as much because he was never a guy that actually really invested in it outside of Voyager. He never really owned crypto. But Jeremy did something else that I found very weird, very interesting. And that is, he's looking for a partner. He is looking for a Charlie Munger to his Warren Buffett. And I don't know why this is so weird. So basically in this video, he explains that, he got overexposed to Tattoo Chef, nothing to do with crypto. He hasn't really talked about FTX as much, but his portfolio is down over 50%. The guy's down millions of dollars. And now he's saying, hey, I messed up on Tattoo Chef. I didn't follow my own rules and I under diversified. I put a lot of money in this and it hit me really hard and I broke my own rules. And now he posted a link. I'm going to show you this link. He actually wants one of you to come on, become one of his friends, close friend, and be his literal Charlie Munger to his Warren Buffett. This is just staggering to me. Look at this. Look at this. You can go on, sign up. You can fill out your name, your email. Have you had at least 6 figures? Have you been in the market for 5 years? Are you someone that's opinionated but have an in-depth conversation? I need someone who is super into the market and stocks. Do you believe that describes you? Send me a video explaining why you could become my Charlie Munger. So this is insane because he's like, I'm not going to take opinions from people I don't respect. Meanwhile, like all these massive millionaires on YouTube from Everything Money, like even me, like we've all been hypercritical of each other on YouTube. He doesn't like, does he not have anyone close enough that he talks to stocks about? Like, doesn't he talk to me, Kevin? Even Graham Stefan, which arguably is probably the most diverse and most competent investor of the bunch. And now he's looking for some rando on the internet to be his partner in crime, to stop him from over leveraging and doing stupid shit. It was such a 180 twist. I'm like, forget all the FTX stuff. Where does this come from? I'm like, go listen to Everything Money. I don't proponently agree to the full idea of value investing, but they've been battering him for like the last 6 months. And like, you take a hint, right? That you're over leveraging in highly speculative, non-cash flowing assets. Why would you make them huge percentage of your portfolio? And boom, moments like this can happen. So like I said, I love Jeremy. I think he's probably one of the most accredited, guys that I would watch because he actually shows his real portfolio performance. But I just don't know how you go from this cocky, and we're all cocky. I mean, we're all trying to outperform the market here, but he just goes off about how he's been so great over the last several years. He's still outperforming the S&P 500 by double the performance. Just this year devastated him. And then in the next video, literally saying, hey, I screwed up. I need help. Like it's so unfathomable to me. So I feel like everybody is consolidating into this emotional wreck. And we're all running around like chickens, trying not to get sued and trying not to blow up our entire investment accounts. But from a lawsuit specific standpoint, the likelihood of this backlashing into any of them is zero. I mean, YouTube, purely financial advice. It's probably the bottom of the ladder for collecting money off these massive corrupt corporations and being able to walk away scot-free. Maybe your YouTube channel is going to get hit, or maybe Graham loses an extra 50,000 views, whatever, video. That's not really going to determine or deter any of these guys from stopping what they're doing because it's their primary source of income. So you kind of it's kind of left to your own personal opinion because this is quote unquote not financial advice. So, I mean, we kind of have that out, right? Like, I mean, I talk about sponsored videos on this channel. I try and find small cap companies that I find intriguing enough. I don't take all of them on. And, in a market like this, most of them have been devastated. And like, I've been devastated in a lot of the ones that I held over the last year that I've sold off, whatever, right? But it's just a matter of, this is the bottom line for most, like from the promotive standpoint. So they're not, the likelihood of getting sued from some of their viewers losing money is slim to zero. I wouldn't even try chasing them if you lost money listening to them. It's just going to be one hell of a learning lesson. You're better off trying to go after FTX, which at this point is just as bad. And Kevin O'Leary, man, that dude's backpedaling a lot as well. It's just unbelievable. I mean, just trying to wrap your head around these guys. And Graham just took the worst direction of trying to hide it, bury it, whatever. Meet Kevin, I think, is going to come out on top. I think he'll be fine. Like I said, I'm not the biggest proponent of Meet Kevin, but damn it, the guy is at least just putting this together. Everything Money is turning into Palantir fanboys. Yeah, I know. They're really flip-flopped around saying that it's cheap enough now, and the growth rates on it are pretty reasonable. I can't remember exactly what their buy targets are, but I know we're right in that range of the upper limit of $6 to $7 a share. I don't follow the big YouTubers, so I do. I love financial YouTubers. They're the reason that gave me hope. They're the reason I started my YouTube channel. You kind of gotta wake up to the reality of disassociating what their investment style is from your own. And that's something new investors will not have an easy time with. They're not gonna, we all copy people. Like every business, everyone's starting something up. They go look at what's successful and then they start replicating it. And it takes a good year or two before you start finding your own way and realizing what works best for you. That was me with Kevin O'Leary, because like I mentioned in my last video, back in the day, like several years ago when I started investing, I copied all of Kevin O'Leary's statements. He was like, buy the oil sands. Every Canadian has to own the oil sands. And when I got kind of wrecked on that investment, I just quickly realized Kevin O'Leary doesn't know any more than the next guy. And this is just another fine wake-up call that just because you have millions and billions of dollars doesn't mean you know what you're doing. It's like, so you really can start finding your own way in the market. So I love taking in advice from all YouTubers, anyone in the finance space, big or small. I follow YouTubers that have 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. And then I follow the likes of, Graham, Stefan, all these guys. I think it's just some of the most fascinating stuff, especially in moments like this, because they're transparent, right? So you get to see how they're actually taking the pain. Jeremy's help is on the way. Strongman Personal Finance applied this AM this morning, so I'm not sure what you're relating to with that one. Dumb money, yeah, guys are the worst. Pumping and dumping NFT. The dumb money guys. I actually I've been watching their streams lately. They were talking about FTX and how they had an opportunity for sponsorship but didn't do it, and then saying he got out at the peak. Well, I don't remember him saying he got out at the peak. They've been devastated on their portfolios, but yeah, I think Chris Camillo was like one of the most advocates toward NFTs and milking kitties. I'm not even joking. The guy was buying NFTs that you can milk the cat NFT and you'll get paid crypto, which that didn't go as planned. So yeah, but again, guys, like we all get hyped into stuff, right? Like, I mean, go watch my videos. That's why I won't delete them. Cause I think, I got over confident in the market going through 2020 and 2021 because things were just so resilient. But again, I really adhere to that risk tolerance and not over leveraging. Like over time, I've done such a good job at making sure that nothing would over leverage the portfolio, where is the situation Jeremy's in right now. So my portfolio, which I guess we could do a quick update on here, guys, it is Friday. Usually I dedicate Fridays to kind of portfolio updates. Boring money makes money. It's the sad truth, my man. It's the sad truth. I was just sitting down with my family today and we were readjusting our portfolios and just talking about, what we're buying, how we're doing it. We're pretty lushed on cash. Let me actually make sure I only have my portfolio open here because it's not appropriate for me to be sharing, say, my fiance's or my parents' portfolio. But let me I'll screen cap this in because my portfolio is 5,000 out pretty much from all-time highs. Not all-time highs from a percentage basis, but because I've been cost averaging so much into the market over the last couple months, it's actually really picking up as the market's kind of rebounding a little bit. So you can kind of see at this point, guys, that I'm sitting on a 360K portfolio, got about 22,000 in cash, a little more than that. I haven't updated my cash position, but you combine that together, it's 382,000. The last time I posted a peak performance, the top of my portfolio was 391,000. And that was probably toward the beginning of this year. So we haven't seen all-time highs for the last, pretty much this entire year. But again, because of the resiliency of, VYM, SCHD, VOO, which though VOO is down, it's largely being cushioned in my portfolio by my dividend investments because every investor is just running into stability and cash flow right now as they wake up to the reality that, hey, maybe crypto wasn't the best idea. I mean, even the Canadian pension plan, for Christ's sakes, lost 100+ million in FTX. Don't listen to financial YouTubers. Yes, that includes myself. Don't listen to what I'm saying, but I did do my more research on Tesla and MyMed because of you, and I made a lot of money. I love you, bro. So I do appreciate that, but again, it depends on the spectrum of when you got caught in those stocks, right? So for me, like, we actually still own some MindMed. It's not in these personal accounts, but we have MindMed shares still out of a nostalgic thing. I mean, we're going to hold on to it for the long term. Like I said, it's hard to take in perspective exactly what I'm showing you here because I take my own stock positions into relation to my fiance's, my parents. Like I kind of look at it as a family unit of net worth. So when I'm buying things, I'm buying them because I want more stability and diversification from the onset of the entire portfolio. So I'm only showing you my stuff here. So even though, like he's saying, like I love a lot of these stocks like Tesla, MindMed, I still have exposure to these to some varying degree. Again, just not represented in my personal accounts that I'm willing to show on YouTube. But again, I do appreciate it, man. But like I said, a lot of people might have got caught on the wrong side of me talking about stocks like this, and they could have lost a lot of money. So I'm sure there's people out there. So I'm glad that you've been around, you've been an OG, because anybody that's been in the market for the last year is feeling that pain. I still own MindMed and it's paid me well. Jason's an OG. This I won't shout out too much. Jason printed. This dude got in, got out at the right times, and I'm hoping he's a well-diversified investor looking forward to a fruitful retirement. I love the fact that some of you guys have been around so long that you've really enjoyed the journey that we've been through, because man, you go back when I started this in 2018, end of 2018, 2019, I only had barely $100,000. So this has been one hell of a journey to this point. And I'm really glad to say that I am not nearly in the calamities that Jeremy is involved with. And I've been very transparent about me trading stocks around, just like Meet Kevin has been. I think bar none, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. The proof is in the pudding of transparency. You can learn from Jeremy's mistakes. You can learn from Meet Kevin, who's been very open and transparent. Unlike Graham, I think Graham's lack of transparency is really going to bite him in the ass, unfortunately. But you learn really quickly. People, we're all feeling pain. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we're all feeling pain in this market. I'm a lot more than I'm willing to admit on this channel from a personal standpoint. But nonetheless, folks, I do appreciate every one of you coming in for this, because God, this is a moment to remember. Take this back and educate yourselves, and just watch the fallout with Kevin O'Leary. Watch the lawsuits with Tom Brady. This is going to be a story that's going to be represented on Netflix and Amazon. This is bigger than Theranos. I can't even explain to people the magnitude of the destruction of $30 billion market cap companies overnight. Literally overnight, Gondo, wiped out. And then you find out all the orgies that were going on. And it's literally like Wolf of Wall Street almost. And Kevin's like, he's not a bad guy. He's really not a bad guy. The CEO of FTX, Sam bank run fraud, he's not a bad guy. And then you're seeing all these leaked videos, the bullshit he's been saying. It's like, Kevin, oh my God, Kevin, just shut up. Shut up, man. You're going to dig yourself a hole you're never getting out of from a PR standpoint. I really wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing CNBC drop these guys. The backlash is going to be so great. This is going to be like the Me Too movement for financial YouTubers and financial investors. So on that note, stay cool. Stay awesome, folks. And most of all, stay damn diligent. I'll catch you in the next one.